A woman walks into a conference room with one thing she cannot afford to lose: control. Her presentation decides the pitch. The pitch may decide her quarter. Her laptop opens, the screen flickers, and then everything freezes. In 3 seconds, 2 things happen. First, the external problem appears. The file will not load. Second, a much faster inner reaction appears. This is a disaster. They'll think I'm incompetent. I'm finished. That second part is where Epictetus becomes interesting. Because for him, the real prison is not the broken plan. It is the moment your peace becomes dependent on something that was never fully yours in the first place: technology, timing, praise, status, other people's faces in the room. The Stoic question is not, can I force life to cooperate? It is, when life refuses, what remains free in me? Epictetus was a Stoic teacher whose surviving lessons come to us through his student Arion. But the heart of the idea is simple. He is not selling positive thinking. He is trying to locate freedom at the one point where fortune, illness, status, and opinion cannot finally reach. The faculty by which you judge, choose, and respond. So when people reduce Stoicism to be tough, they miss the point. Epictetus is asking a sharper question. What part of a human life is truly yours? He begins with a division that sounds simple and turns out to be severe. Some things are up to us, and some are not. What is up to us includes our judgments, desires, aversions, and actions. What is not includes the body, reputation, possessions, office, and the reactions of other people. That does not mean those things do not matter at all. It means they do not belong to you in the deepest sense, because they can be damaged, withheld, or taken by forces beyond your command. Inner freedom, then, is not getting everything you prefer. It is refusing to hand over your inner government to what is unstable. The meeting may fail, the train may be late, the diagnosis may be frightening, the audience may turn cold, but none of those events can directly force your judgment to become cowardly, dishonest, petty, or panicked. They can pressure you, they can scare you, they can hurt you. But they do not automatically own your response. That is why Epictetus ties freedom to choice, not comfort. This is where many people misunderstand Stoicism. Epictetus is not telling our presenter to shrug and say, nothing matters. He is telling her to separate the emergency from the enslavement. So yes, fix the cable. Ask for 2 minutes. Borrow another laptop. Speak without the slides if you must. Act fully. But do not add a second wound by telling yourself that your worth, identity, or future now hangs on this single external event. Freedom is not withdrawal from action. It is action without inner surrender. The world presents an impression. Your freedom lives in how quickly you kneel before it. You can see this everywhere now. A boss sends, need to talk. Before the meeting even exists, the mind writes an entire tragedy. I'm getting fired. I've failed. They never respected me. My life is going backward. Or someone criticizes you online and suddenly your day, your sleep, even your sense of self are being managed by a stranger with a phone. Epictetus would say, look carefully. The email is real. The criticism is real. But the collapse of your inner freedom usually begins with the judgment you add. So ask, what is actually mine right now? Not the economy, not another person's tone, not the final outcome. What is mine is whether I answer honestly, whether I prepare well, whether I stay fair, whether I let fear turn me into someone I do not respect. That is a much smaller kingdom than ego wants, but it is a real kingdom. Here is a simple way to practice Epictetus without turning him into a slogan. When something disturbs you today, pause and make 2 columns. On one side, not mine. The timing, the weather, their approval, the market, the delay, the past. On the other side, mine. My next sentence, my standard of honesty, my effort, my interpretation which can still be examined, my willingness not to panic. Do that sincerely, and the situation may still be painful, but it becomes cleaner. And that is Epictetus's lesson about inner freedom. Freedom is not the power to arrange the world. It is the discipline of not becoming a slave to what the world keeps changing. Lose the slide deck if you must. Lose the applause if you must. Just do not lose the part of you that chooses how to meet what happens.